Good morning, keyboard cowboys. You're watching The One-Way Mirror. So yeah, that's pretty much a thing now. Whenever you talk about it, you have to say it just like that. So have you heard of the One-Way Mirror? But the Pappy2 brings up the issue that the one-way mirror suggests a lack of interactivity and connectivity. And after all, you guys have told me that this is what the show is about, so... What? I'm kidding. Well, I have an explanation for how this can work. See, a one-way mirror is actually the wrong name. It's actually a two-way mirror. Calling it a one-way mirror is just a misconception on the part of the general public. See, the way a two-way mirror works is that it's constructed so that only about half the light gets reflected back and the other half travels through the glass. If you're in a room that has a lot of light in it, like say an interrogation room, you won't see through the glass. This is because that bright light is reflecting half of itself off the glass and back at you. However, this bright light is going through the glass to a dimly lit room. In this dimly lit room, only a little bit of the dim light is being reflected back from the mirror. So when you're in the dimly lit room, the bright light coming from the interrogation room will go through the mirror, and thus you will be able to see into it. So if we were to say that when I'm making a video the light is on in my room and off in yours, which it might be, are you watching me in the dark? Then it's me talking and making a video. Otherwise, when the light is on in your room, I can see what you're saying. Good job, Way. Justify a terrible metaphor with science. Like intelligent Though really, the naming of the show doesn't really have any real effect whatsoever. So let's just go with it's ironic. In other news, it's still really hot. In other news, it's still really hot. The back of my neck is sweating and making all my hair curl up. This is not nipple sweat. Nipples don't even sweat from there. I don't know what you're talking about. That's merely some yogurt I spilled on this shirt a while ago, and it never came out. This, however, could be anything. I'm not sure why I had to defend myself there, but it felt like the right thing to do. Anyways, in the news, there's good news. 86 days after the oil spill started, BP has finally managed to seal off the leak. Yes, that's right, no more oil is going into the Gulf of Mexico, but this does not mean that there will not be any more going in. That's right, there is still a possibility that the cap going over the leak could cause an increase in pressure and cause a burst somewhere else along the oil pipe. They're waiting 48 hours to do tests and see whether or not it will be necessary to take the cap back off, but a lot of people are feeling optimistic now. If things go well over the next 2 days, we can finally focus all of our attention on cleaning up the oil spill. At least we can focus all of our attention once, you know, BP lets us get to the ocean. In other news, I really need to stop saying other news. In more news, a proposed Islamic cultural center and mosque that's going to be built right next to the World Trade Center Ground Zero is causing outrage amongst a number of people. The Islamic Center is supported by most politicians in Manhattan and by religious leaders of many faiths. It is opposed by some September 11th families, by conservative politicians, bloggers, and Tea Party activists. Oh no, bloggers! We'd better watch out or the vloggers might start rallying. However, this mosque and cultural center would mean a lot to the Muslim community. Particularly supportive of this is Imam Faisal Abdul Rauf. I'm sorry if I just butchered that. An imam is basically a person who is in a place of leadership in an Islam community and often is a leader of a mosque. He highly supports the idea for this mosque, saying that it would be a dream for him and his people. His wife, Daisy Khan, says, "Our religion has been hijacked by the extremists. This center will create this kind of counter-momentum which will amplify the voices of the moderate Muslims. If we have to defeat the extremists, Muslims have to be leading that effort." However, the victims of 9/11 and those other people are feeling angry about it. Sam Nunberg of the Center for Law and Justice said it would be like removing the sunken ship in Pearl Harbor to erect a memorial to the Japanese kamikazes killed in the attack. Well, this is true. If every Muslim were extremist and every person who looks kind of dark and brown and Middle Eastern were Muslim. Regardless of this controversy, the mosque and cultural center will still be made. This is Way on The Great Adventure. Oh, and the name? Don't worry about it. It doesn't really mean anything. Say hello. Okay, you can say hi if you want. That is Friends Without Benefits and